Todd Shapiro Show. Canada Laughs. Sirius XM 168.
What was the response just from anyone attending Pride in the community with Tweed there? I mean, there must be a lot of conversation based around everything that's going on now.
Absolutely. We had far and above the most engagement we had a permanent activation on site at Pride throughout the weekend, and we had the highest engagement we've ever had at any other event. So it was amazing. The conversation, I think you show up at an event like Pride and you're welcoming open-minded, diverse perspectives, and it was just wonderful. We were very well embraced. I think the only disappointment was that we weren't giving out free samples.
Right. Which is understandable.
That's we were giving out flowers at the parade, but not the kind of flower people were expecting from us. But, maybe one day in the future.
It's interesting you say that because a lot of this sort of the is about ending a stigma, right? Yep. And a stigma that's, you can say that, I guess, attached with anything where stigmas should never have existed in the first place. So I can understand maybe why there is that connection, which is, and I would imagine a connection where people must have been very proud that, a company like Canopy Growth continues to push through, ends that stigma, but does it with the utmost of class and respect and education. And all that stuff's very important, isn't it?
Yeah, education first. Education and stigma are right up there as our key jobs to be done as a company. And we're doing a great job. We're staying true to that. We're on the parade. We've got the Liberal Party in front of us and the NDP's behind us, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is an incredible thing what we're doing here in Canada, and seeing it embraced so strongly by the community this weekend, but we're seeing this replicated across the country as we activate in all different types of events.
Has there been any sort of negative comments after the legalization? Like, have you heard and stuff directed towards, Canopy being the biggest company in the game? Have it not? People are just...
I think, the best thing we could be doing in this time right now is, and I say this all the time, we're so lucky and I'm so grateful, and it's so exciting to be a part of this and to be seeing this happening here, because people around the world, governments around the world, healthcare practitioners around the world, everyone is watching us and everyone is looking to see what we're doing and how we're approaching legalization. And I think doing it with responsibility in mind, with responsible use in mind, with respect to the system and the process, and understanding that this is really all just right now a race to the starting line, but this is a marathon. We have a long way to go. It's not going to be a sprint and then nobody's going to remember, a time when this wasn't allowed. We're going to get to that place where it's going to be a distant memory, but we need to be responsible in our approach to legalization and our approach as businesses, and I just feel so lucky to be a part of it and be creative.
Do you ever? I ask this to everyone who joins us from the Canopy team, and we get to speak to a lot of you. We're very fortunate, and we've learned a ton, and we've informed the audience a ton. But do you ever sort of have to pinch yourself, here you said, I just didn't realize you weren't in Toronto 10 years ago, and now you are working for, like I said, this is. Valued at a multi-billion dollar. It's wild, right?
It is very wild, and when I talk to my team, it's that I sent a Friday afternoon memo the other week to the team, just take a moment to just appreciate all of this and to let it soak in, because we're going so fast. We're working so hard around the clock every single day. It's important we celebrate the wins. It's so exciting for us to see our education campaign up on billboards around the country, and getting friends and family sending pictures of it to us, and seeing everything finally starting to come to life as we're pivoting Tweed from a medical brand into a recreational market. It's just beautiful. And for us, it is acknowledging that and taking those moments to just breathe, smile, celebrate. And be excited, but there's a lot of pinching going on. It's pretty crazy. Like my mom. I was interviewed in a cannabis site last week, and of course, as mothers do, my mom posted it on her Facebook account. And she said, "Never in a million years would I have thought that I'd be so proud that my daughter was selling marijuana."
And yet,
And I was like, thanks, Mom, but don't call it marijuana. That's racist.
what are you supposed to call it?
Cannabis.
Cannabis. Okay, that's good to know. That's interesting. I don't even think I knew that. But the other thing too,
it's the only time when you really should say the C word.
I like that. We're gonna use that. We're gonna put that in an ID. And the other stuff too, which is again like all about the giving back, which the company does. And we spoke to Hillary Black the other day about what they're doing over in BC, and they funded a whole program to talk about cannabis and how it can maybe help in the opioid crisis. And you guys do so much charitable stuff within Smith Falls and job creation.
I know.
Is it true that you guys are now potentially looking for like another 500-600 jobs or something? Is that what I recently read?
I think that report is even outdated because we're hiring a retail network across the country that's going to be over 1,000 people. And that doesn't include our needs for facilities and for marketing teams and for corporate teams. So it's crazy. We walk into our office and there'll be kind of someone just standing there and we're like, what?
Someone new?
Yeah. Who are you with? What are you here for? And like, oh yeah, I just joined this team. So it's really fantastic. But it's, rapid growth. All across the country.
I love it. Was there like, are there actual talking points, or are we just kind of hanging out talking?
We're just hanging out.
I like hanging out talking. So what sort of?
I was gonna say you really like I hang out with you outside of this setting. You really do have a voice for radio.
I'm not the face.
Hearing it through there. No, you got a face too. You got a glimmer in your eye, but hearing it through this system, it's
I put it on. I put it on a little bit.
It's very nice.
I think I lowered it a little bit. I think I'm like, hey, I'm cool. 1,000 episodes today on this.
Amazing.
1,000
Mazel
episodes.
tov.
Thank you. Mazel tov. See, that's from a Wasserman. We get that.
It just comes out.
So what's sort of next now? What are kind of next steps? What are things that you as a company are working on, and what can, I guess, Canadians look forward to before or up until that October 17th day?
Yeah. So obviously exciting news with the bill passing. We are looking forward to hopefully getting the final updated regs this week, at which point our legal will provide me with a really nice document of the cross-references between what we saw in the proposed regulations and where there's changes. But I really hope it does come through this week, because then that's my long weekend plan. And I actually am very excited about that, because my life up until this point has been highly ambiguous, with a lot of question marks of when is legalization. It's planning all these launches without any visibility into when it's launching, how it's launching, and what we're allowed to do. So this is an extremely exciting time for everyone, but I'm a marketer. So from a marketing perspective, having very clear rules of what I'm able to do, or like the handful of things I'm not allowed to do, is amazing. So I'm actually
because that's all you want. You just want, it's like anything in life. You just kind of want to know what the rules are, so you can proceed. And then
I can go. Versus, we have proposed regulations, but those aren't final regulations, and there may be changes, there may be loopholes, there may be surprises. There probably won't be, but there might be. So like, don't order anything, don't sign any. Like, everything's sort of been on hold. We're planning. In responsible ways that we know we can move forward with, but there's a lot of detail work that can't be finalized until we know what day legalization is happening and what exactly does, a prescribed place mean when it says a prescribed place in the regulation. So as we start to get these details, it means that my work can be more specific. My team's work can start to become more, taking it from what the strategy is and starting to put that in action and into tactics. So we're so excited now.
Good for you. I need some rules just to keep me on track. I need to know what to do. Well, you got to help me.
We have an amazing legal team, so
I'm afraid of them. We have a call. I don't know. I hope it's related. We don't really have our interns to screen calls today. Hey, you're on air with Amy Wasserman from Canopy Growth. How you doing?
Hi, Amy. Hi, Todd. It's Neil from The Hammer.
How you doing, Neil?
I'm doing good. I want to start off by congratulating you on your 1,000th episode.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate that.
And Amy, I want to thank you very much for you and your team and everyone at Canopy on all the hard work they're doing.
That's so nice of you.
I'm someone that believes in the company very much so, and I'm happy to see what the future has for the company.
Awesome. That's so nice.
Yeah, Neil, we appreciate that. And it's hard not to get behind big Canadian companies who are pushing forward and leading the charge in the coolest thing that any country's ever done in the world. Well, the second country, but the only G7 country. So, I mean, it's pretty special. It really is very special.
It's something that we get to rally behind as Canadians. Like, this isn't about, it doesn't need to be about Canopy. This is about the fact that we're driving progress on a global scale. And it's all started here in Canada.
Yeah, every country will follow suit, and they're going to look to see how we did it and probably adopt many of our rules federally, and that's what's exciting. Neil, thanks, my man. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Hopefully big things from Bruce, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Always
Bruce.
big things from Bruce.
Thanks, dude. Bruce Litton, the CEO of Canopy Growth. I'll tell you, because I do a lot of consulting, and a lot of it's weird in the stage of my life. I guess I've been doing media for 2 decades. People doing me. I never thought that would happen. That's hence the collared shirts now. Still the ball cap though.
Button.
Yeah. I know it's a little. I noticed it's a little low. Is it a little low?
Less than I would like.
Yeah. Is it exciting?
No.
No. Okay. Is that better?
That's better.
I noticed it was a little low. But my point being is that Bruce he's got this way of speaking to people and then has a lot of comic relief.
Yeah.
And I've used Bruce as an example actually to other companies, not in your space, just in any space, to say like, this is how you don't bore your town halls and yes, information, you can overwhelm people with that. And it's quite impressive actually when you do that and you speak from this authoritative point of view. But if you don't humanize yourself and show this wonderful, joyful personality, you'll lose that compelling, engaging nature. And that's what makes Bruce so wonderful at it. He's just like such a regular guy who's so brilliant in what he does. Yeah. And everyone I've spoken to at your team and anyone I've spoken to who's met him is like, man, that guy's just, he's like a little rock star.
I know. We got to figure out how to clone him.
We got to clone. Well, and it's funny because one thing I've actually encouraged him, I've like nudged him a few times whenever I bumped into him. I'm like, dude, use your social media more.
So that's why he brought it up the other day.
Did he bring it up?
He brought it up.
I can show you emails I've actually sent him.
He came out to Pride in Toronto with his son, and we're showing him kind of all the stuff we're posting and pictures, and he's like, I gotta get going on that.
We gotta get, because people want
to set up a session.
And he should, I would love to actually be there with you guys because I think, as a personality, I've been pretty good at that. And you look at some of the CEOs like what's the T-Mobile ones really? I think it's John Lejaw, or there's just certain guys that they're CEOs of massive companies, but they really put themselves out there. And Bruce has already done it, but I think for more of the world to see that, it would be amazing. Yeah. I mean, it'd be amazing. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do here or anything, but he's just.
Thank God for Instagram stories. You can get that inside look of what Bruce is up to.
Right, the Insta story. Awesome. And then the one thing I've always told Amy that I would love to do one day is like a Cribs episode of all the different facilities. I don't know if that's ever something, because I think people really like to see you did a nice one on CTV Ottawa. I saw. They went right, like didn't they? CTV News Ottawa. They went behind the scenes, and I'm like, but I want to go.
Looking for a different type of production on that one.
I just more like literally a layman who understands what the product is, understands what's going on, but just be like, look at what's going on here, because it's really neat.
It's insane. Yeah.
And I think it's just fair to show how production happens.
Yep. And just the visibility of the scale and the processes and procedures.
Cleanliness, all that.
And it doesn't take someone who has to understand how it works to appreciate it. We're bringing people through the facility, partners that we work with, agencies. They need to understand the process in order to work on the brand and work on kind of the storylines, and they see it and they're just absolutely blown away.
How many facilities are there now?
That's a good question.
But from Quebec to BC, right?
Yeah, we have Mirabel, we have a few here, and we have Smith Falls, we have a location in Scarborough, we have a location in Creemore, we have a location in Bowmanville, we've got Yorkton, Saskatchewan, we've got Edmonton, Alberta, we've got the 2 facilities in Delta and Aldergrove in BC, we've got one in Fredericton.
Have you traveled to all those places?
I haven't. I was just in Edmonton visiting family, but didn't go check up what's going on at the facility. But
you have family in Edmonton?
I do.
So do I. Do you feel bad for them as well?
No, I don't.
You like Edmonton? Okay. I'm joking.
Of course, it's my home.
Oh, you're from Edmonton?
From there.
I just made fun of the place Amy's from.
Yeah.
That's a bad move. No, what do you do in the winter there, though?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do in the winter here?
You
like,
really,
cold is cold.
Hey.
Cold is cold.
It is different cold there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different cold there.
Cold is cold.
I wouldn't even leave my hotel room, because my wife's sister's there, and like she would go to her house, and I'm like, it's minus 49. It's so cold there. Do you find these winters then like pretty easy?
No.
Cold's cold. Cold's cold.
Yeah, cold is cold.
Is it nice in the summer? I've never been to Edmonton in the summer.
Beautiful. So I was just there. This was the first time in a long time I've been. My parents are selling our childhood home.
Oh, that's a tough thing.
Yeah. So good thing my mind is in a million other places, so I wasn't that emotional over that.
Sure.
Just about everything else in my life that just is crazy right now. But it was emotional. Like, I tried to sort of not think about it.
Yeah.
My brother does VR. You've met my brother.
Who's the
actually.
coolest? Yeah. Is he still doing it? Is he still heavily involved in that?
He's just like doing his own thing. Everything. He's got a horseshoe up his ass. Everything works for him.
Good for him, man. VR's
he's super talented. So he talked about getting a guy to come to our house to do like a virtual reality tour.
So you always have it
through the house so that we could have it, but doesn't look like it did when we lived there because there was 4 kids and a ton of shit everywhere.
That's a really cool little business.
Yeah.
You do like VR, and that you can keep and hold the nostalgia forever.
Yeah.
Like you do with an old car. You could always feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Man, that's so smart.
I know. Now my brother's gonna be mad. That
Yeah, you shared it?
No,
we won't tell anybody.
Whatever.
Okay, we won't tell anyone. Well, thanks again. It's really exciting what's going on. Are you able to talk about, like, is there going to be a shindig this year? Are we allowed to? I don't want to. Should we just hold off and we're waiting to hear?
Just hang tight.
Hang tight.
You'll be the first to know.
Okay, because it was so great being a part of hosting the shindig last year.
Absolutely.
And
we've honestly got like hundreds of events happening all summer. So really anywhere that there's some event going on, we're probably there. So we look forward to seeing Canadians across the country and educating them on our products.
Nice,
and
and people can find that just at Tweet Inc. or at Canopy Growth.
Yeah, follow us on social. We'll be sharing kind of where we're popping up, and yeah, people can shoot a message to hi@tweed.com and ask for me, and I can let them know where we'll be.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Well, this is great.
Absolutely.
I can't believe we haven't done this more.
It's okay.
It's ridiculous.
I won't hold it
We'll get
against
you
you.
back, and I promise not to knock Edmonton anymore.
Okay,
it's
thanks.
Calgary
Don't do
that really
again.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's Calgary.
The worst. No, we love everyone. It's Tweed, right?
We 100% love it.
Yeah.
That's without said.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, listen, this is all we do here on the program. It's open the doors to every single person and show people that being inspirational and motivational and showing love is the most important thing we have. And we do it.
I love it.
And we do it.
Yeah.
We do it.
The Todd Shapiro Show. Canada Laughs. Sirius XM 168.